right under front. Morrison scores! Brendan Morrison, a silencer! Brendan Morrison in overtime. Listen to this place.
Hey guys, it's been a while since we've updated this channel here. Almost a year, actually. The last time the Vancouver Canucks were in the playoffs, they were playing the Edmonton Oilers, and that was a great series. Obviously, Vancouver came up short, and Edmonton went on a run to the Stanley Cup against the Florida Panthers. They came up short in Game 7. Well, here we are again, almost a year later, and we have the same Stanley Cup Final. We got the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, and we have 3 games potentially left in the series. So Game 4 just finished up in Florida, and Edmonton pulled off an overtime win. I mean, this has been a fantastic series to date. Super, super tight, aside from Game 3, which turned into a bit of a blowout. But we're just going to have a little bit of a chat about the series. I've got a special guest on here today. I got my son, Braden, here, and he's going to offer some insight into this series as well. Braden plays college hockey at Miami of Ohio, which is in the NCHC. So anyways, it's always fun to chat hockey with my son, and we've never actually ever done anything like this, so he's a little bit nervous. We'll give him a break here. But all right, we'll talk about what we think are the key points in this series for each team to have success moving forward here. Again, it's basically a best of 3 right now. So we're going to come up with 3 points for Edmonton and 3 points for Florida. But before we get into that, Braden, give us your thoughts on the series so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been super entertaining so far with those 3 games going to overtime. It's pretty rare to see that in Stanley Cup Final, so I think it's been a lot of good hockey, a lot of goals being scored, so fans are super entertained. A lot of that comeback win from Edmonton. You've seen them do it earlier in the playoffs, so yeah, I'm excited to watch the next couple of games here.
Yeah, it's been great hockey. I mean, a lot of people are commenting this has been one of the best series they've ever seen so far in the Stanley Cup Final. And there's a lot of different storylines. There's a lot of different plots that are happening here right now. But let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers first, and 3 key points that we think that they need to focus on in order to have success here in the games 5, 6, or 7, right? Basically, like we mentioned, it's a best of 3 now. So I think the first thing is they need to stay out of the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I mean, they've struggled a lot on the penalty kill throughout the whole playoffs, and especially in this final series, they're hovering right around 67% on the kill, which is quite low for a penalty kill in the playoffs and at any point when you're playing hockey. So they need to stay a little bit more disciplined, especially starting that last game, Game 4, with 3 penalties in the first period. It's always going to be a hard night when you're battling with that.
Yeah, I mean, 66.7% is abysmal in any league. It's not good. So the easiest way to correct that is stay out of the box. And I think the Oilers in Game 3, they got caught up playing Florida's game, right? Like, Florida is a team that plays with edge, with sandpaper. They like to get in your face. They like to chirp. And they're masters at that, right? And Edmonton got caught up playing that game, and they couldn't control themselves. I mean, a lot of undisciplined penalties, high sticks, things of that nature that ultimately killed them in Game 3 and hurt them again at the start of Game 4. Mm-hmm. So discipline is a huge key for the Oilers. They need to stay out of the box, all right? Second one here is the goaltending in Edmonton. And I know Stuart Skinner has taken a lot of heat at times this year. I mean, he didn't have a great start to the playoffs. Calvin Pickard came in, played out of his mind, got hurt. Skinner came back in, and I thought Skinner played out of his mind, extremely well. And I don't fault Skinner for the start of Game 4. I mean, yes, they were down 3-0 in the first period, but I thought he made 5 or 6 phenomenal saves. I mean, that game should have been done in the first period. It could have easily been 5 or 6-0 if it wasn't for Stuart Skinner in Game 4. But obviously, Knobloch decided to make a change, and to me, it was more of a not so much penalizing Skinner for how he played, but it was more of a wake-up call to the team. And I've been in situations like that. I'm sure you've been in situations like that as well. What's kind of the message when the coach does that?
Yeah, I think it kind of just gives a little bit of a spark to the team. Like, you kind of obviously feel bad for leaving your goalie to hang out to dry there. So think putting that next guy in, it kind of have like the next man up mindset. So the team's willing to, I don't know, kind of battle back and make sure it doesn't happen again to the other guy coming in. So yeah, we obviously saw it worked for Edmonton in Game 4, and hopefully they won't have to do that again in the upcoming games.
And I find as a player too, a lot of times the backup goalie, a lot of times he's the unsung hero, right? I mean, he's a guy that's on the ice early. He's a guy that's on the ice late. He's just getting bombarded with shots, guys that are trying to work on shooting drills after practice, etc., before practice. And yes, the starter does that at times, and more often than not, that job kind of falls on the backup goaltender. So when a guy gets in a big game like this, I mean, guys are doing everything in their power to do what they can to make sure that he has success.
100%.
So talking about Pickard here, I mean, he is now 7-0 in these playoffs. And I read an interesting stat earlier today saying that only 3 other goalies in the history of the NHL have had better starts to their playoff careers, or a playoff stretch, I should say. So in Gump Worsley went 11-0 with Montreal in 1968. Pretty good teams back then. Montreal were powerhouses. Jacques Plante, he went 8-0 again with the Montreal Canadiens in 1960. And Terry Sawchuk with Detroit back in 1952 went 8-0. So those 3 guys are all in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if Calvin Pickard's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but he's definitely putting up Hall of Fame stats right now. So I think the Oilers definitely need him to keep going. So we have, discipline, stay out of the box. We have the goaltending situation with Edmonton. And the last thing, and it might be overlooked a little bit, but one thing that kind of concerns me a bit with the Oilers that they need to resolve here ASAP is their 6th defenseman. And by that, I mean, Klingberg had been really good for the Oilers, I felt, the first 3 rounds, and then had a rough start to the series. So they put in Troy Stecher, who, again, got in early in the playoffs here and did a good job, and then was taken out when they got healthy on the back end. But last game, Stecher went back for a puck, was trying to do the right thing, tried to reverse the puck. I believe it was to Darnell Nurse. Verhaeghe intercepted it, pass out front to Lundell, and that made it 3-0. And I don't think Stecher saw the ice again. So he played 4 minutes and 18 seconds. So now heavy minutes fall on your next 5 guys, right? A lot of those guys for the Oilers were the high 20s. I think all the rest of their D played over 20 minutes. A few guys pushing that 30-minute mark. So the depth on the Oilers D, they need, whether it's Klingberg or Stetcher's going back in, they need that guy to be able to eat some minutes up. If not, I think they're going to wear down against Florida and their physicality.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's kind of Florida's game plan all along, with playing a physical game and making sure the series, as long as it goes, to punish Oilers D. So taking on that amount of ice time for the 5 other D is going to be a long night, and continuing down the series, it'll just be more and more tiring as it goes on.
Exactly. So let's get on to the Florida Panthers here, and the 3 keys that we think to their success here in games 5, 6, 7. So they need to continue their road dominance. They have a 9-3 record here in the playoffs this postseason, which is phenomenal. And to date, they have the best playoff road goal differential, meaning the amount of goals they've scored compared to the amount of goals they've given up. That's the largest discrepancy in the history of the NHL. So they've been absolutely dominant on the road. And I think in like 11 of those games, out of the 12 games, they've scored 5 goals. That's insane, like, to score that many goals. So they need to continue that again tonight in Edmonton if they want to have a chance to win the series.
Yeah, 100%. We also seen Sam Bennett become a road warrior, putting up a lot of goals on the road as well. Same with Marchand, they've had success going back to Edmonton the start of the series, so they're going to need those guys firing tonight to continue with their success on the road. And
speaking of Bennett, I think he set a NHL record with his 12th road goal last time they were in Edmonton. So he's been on a bit of a heater here. So again, they need to continue that. For me, this Florida Panther team, this is their 3rd Stanley Cup they've been to in a row, right? Lost the first one. Won last year, obviously, against Edmonton, and they're back in the same position right now. So this team needs to rely on their experience and their depth. And their scoring depth is a huge, huge part of their success. they have 9 players with 15 or more points compared to the Oilers, who have 4 players with 15 or more points. So Florida really relies on a team game, deploying 4 lines. Obviously, their 4th line doesn't play as much as the top 3 lines, but super, super deep throughout their first 3, and their 4th line has also contributed.
Yeah, 100%. You can also point out the fact they've had 7 different defensemen score a goal throughout this entire playoff as well. I mean, Uvis Belinskis, I don't think he's played a game so far in the finals, but he scored earlier. So having that scoring come from your back end is also very important to help contribute to their winning success.
Absolutely. And finally here, guys, for the Panthers, I mean, and it's really hard to knock this player because, I mean, he is a phenomenal player. But, and this isn't really a criticism, it's just what I think could really help them get over the hump here. And I think they need a bit more offensively from Barkov. I mean, he's a guy that, he's like a point-a-game player over the past few years. And he's close to a point a game right now. I think in 21 games, he has 19 points in the playoffs. But I think he has 1 assist through the first 4 games in this series, and that assist was off a face-off goal last game there. I mean, he's doing a good job defensively, 5-on-5 on McDavid. He's usually matching up head-to-head against him as much as they can. McDavid has not scored in this series, but I think has 6 assists. But I think if Barkov can get going a little bit offensively, I think the Panthers are in real good shape.
Yeah, obviously with a special player like that, he's a twin-foot player. He's doing a great job in defensive zone and a lot on the forecheck as well, setting up some plays and making sure they possess the puck. But once he gets going offensively, I think the Oilers could be in trouble and they'll push the Panthers to the next level.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. I mean, that's our take here, kind of down to a best of 3 now in the Stanley Cup Final. So for the Oilers, they need to be disciplined, stay out of the box. Their goaltending with Calvin Pickard needs to keep playing the same way. Their 6th D-man, whether it's Klimberg or Stetcher, needs to step up. For Florida, they need to continue their road dominance. They need to rely on their experience and depth. And they need a little bit more offense from Barkov. So that's our take here on this Stanley Cup Final. And hope you guys enjoy this insight. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.